Number 10, people suddenly getting sick. The World Cup has a strange medical effect on society. Every 4 years, millions of completely healthy people wake up with a mysterious illness that only appears when their country plays at 10 a.m. Very serious condition. Symptoms include a fake cough, a weak phone voice, and immediately recovering the second the national anthem starts. Someone calls their boss like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. I feel terrible today." Meanwhile, in the background, there are 12 people screaming, a flag on the wall, and one uncle already blaming the referee before kickoff. Everybody knows what's happening. The boss knows. The coworkers know. The person calling out knows that everyone knows. But the performance continues anyway because society has quietly agreed that the World Cup exists in a legal gray area. It's not exactly a holiday, but it's also not exactly a normal workday. It's more like, I will be present emotionally, but not physically, because my nation needs me to sit on a couch. And honestly, some people deserve credit. Faking a sore throat while wearing a jersey and holding a plate of wings takes commitment, not moral commitment, but commitment. Number 9, fake doctor's appointments. Calling out sick is too obvious for some people. So during the World Cup, the fake appointment industry becomes very powerful. Suddenly everyone has a dentist appointment, a doctor's appointment, an eye exam, a family thing, a personal meeting, a mysterious calendar event with no details because details are dangerous. And somehow, all these appointments begin exactly at kickoff. Very strange. A person will leave work at 1:55 p.m. with the most serious face possible, as if they are about to discuss test results with a specialist. But actually, they are speed walking to a sports bar because Portugal is playing. That is not a medical emergency. That is tactical patriotism. The funniest part is when the game goes to extra time. Now the fake appointment is in trouble. A normal dentist appointment should not last 3 hours unless your mouth is being rebuilt from scratch. So now the person has to come back acting tired, maybe hold their jaw a little, maybe say, "Yeah, it took longer than expected." And technically, that's true. Penalty shootouts do take longer than expected. Number 8, streets turning into stadiums. Normally streets are for cars, buses, people crossing too slowly, and that one guy on a bike who thinks traffic laws are just suggestions. But when a team wins a huge World Cup match, the street stops being a street. It becomes a stadium with worse parking. People flood outside. Cars start honking for no reason. Flags appear out of nowhere. Someone climbs onto something they absolutely should not be climbing. And one random guy with a drum suddenly becomes the leader of the entire neighborhood. No one elected him. He just has rhythm and confidence, which is apparently enough during international sports chaos. The weirdest part is how fast strangers become a community. Yesterday, nobody knew each other. Today, everyone is hugging in the middle of an intersection because a midfielder from 4,000 miles away scored a header. Even people who did not watch the game get pulled into it. You walk outside to buy milk and suddenly you're in a parade. You don't know the chant. You don't know the score. You don't even know which team won. But now someone has put a flag around your shoulders and you're part of history. Congratulations. You were drafted. Number 7, crying over people you've never met. The World Cup makes people emotionally attached to complete strangers at dangerous levels. You do not know these players. They do not know you exist. If you walked up to one of them in real life and said, "We've been through so much together," security would immediately appear. But during the World Cup, logic leaves the room. For 90 minutes, that striker is your brother. That goalkeeper is your father. That midfielder with a knee brace is carrying your childhood, your ancestors, and your entire group chat on his back. If he scores, you scream like he personally saved your family. If he misses, you stare at the screen like you just got betrayed by a close friend. And if your team loses, now everyone is crying. Adults, children, people in full face paint. That one uncle who said he doesn't even care this year. He cares. He's just crying in the bathroom. The funny thing is, sports sadness is so dramatic because it's completely real and completely ridiculous at the same time. Your life has not technically changed. Your rent is still due. Your homework is still waiting. Your boss still exists. But emotionally, your country just got eliminated by a man named Lucas, and you need 3 business days to recover. Number 6, sudden extreme nationalism. The World Cup activates a version of people that normally stays hidden. A person can spend 4 years complaining about their country. The roads are bad. The government is annoying. The food is overpriced. Everything is broken. Then the national team wins one match, and suddenly they are standing on a table yelling, "Best country in the world. Interesting." Very fast rebrand. The World Cup makes national pride simple for a month. All the complicated real-life problems get squeezed into one clean image. 11 players, one flag, and one desperate need to beat a country your grandfather still has opinions about. People who barely know the anthem start singing with their whole chest. People who never wear national colors suddenly look like a walking flag. Someone who has not visited the country in 10 years is now giving emotional speeches about our people. And if you question it, they get offended. Since when are you so patriotic? Since 2 p.m. today, respect it. It's not always logical, but it is powerful. The World Cup gives people permission to care loudly. And once that permission arrives, everyone becomes a diplomat, historian, and emotional hostage in a jersey. Number 5, people pretending to understand tactics. The World Cup creates soccer experts faster than any coaching course on earth. One match in, and suddenly your cousin is explaining formations. Your friend is talking about pressing triggers. Your barber is saying, they need to overload the left side. Sir, Last week you thought offside was when the ball went out of bounds. Please relax. But that's the magic of the tournament. Everyone wants to sound like they see the hidden chess match. So they start using serious soccer words. Low block, high line, double pivot, transition, false nine, half space. Nobody is fully sure what half space means, but it sounds advanced, so people say it with confidence. And sometimes, by pure luck, they are right. They say they need to bring on the fast winger. Then the fast winger scores. Now they are impossible to live with. For the rest of the tournament, they're not watching games anymore. They're analyzing systems. Every family has that one person standing near the TV like an unpaid assistant coach. Arms crossed, deep sighs, pointing at the screen. Meanwhile, the real coach has spent 30 years in professional football. But apparently, he should have listened to a guy eating chips in pajama pants. Number 4, family arguments over teams. The World Cup can turn a peaceful living room into a courtroom with snacks. Suddenly, family loyalty becomes very complicated. One person supports the country where they were born. Another supports where their parents came from. Someone supports the team with their favorite player. Someone else supports whichever team is playing against the team they hate. And then there's a little kid who picks based on jersey color, accidentally starting a diplomatic crisis. Why are you cheering for them? I like the blue shirt. You don't understand what they did to us in 2010. The child is 7. He does not know what happened in 2010. Honestly, neither do you. But now dinner is tense. This is where the World Cup becomes more than soccer. It becomes family history, old rivalries, random grudges, and one aunt who keeps saying, I don't care, while clearly caring more than everyone. During the match, relatives become enemies. Your cousin celebrates against your team, and for 10 minutes, he's no longer your cousin. He is a threat to the household. Then after the game, everyone tries to act normal again. Good game. No, it wasn't. You screamed at a child. Number 3, random people becoming experts overnight. There's no faster expert transformation than World Cup expert transformation. A person watches 2 group stage games and suddenly speaks like they have a UEFA license. They know who should start. They know who should be benched. They know the coach has lost the dressing room. What dressing room? You lost your wallet last week. But during the World Cup, confidence matters more than knowledge. People say things with their whole chest. That striker has no movement. You pulled your hamstring walking upstairs. The goalkeeper should have saved that. You close your eyes when someone tosses you keys. The manager got the tactics wrong. You manage one fantasy team and it's in last place. Still, everyone gets involved. That's part of what makes the World Cup so funny. It lets normal people judge elite professionals from a couch covered in crumbs. And the debates are endless. Barbershops, classrooms, restaurants, group chats. Everywhere you go, someone is delivering a tactical breakdown nobody requested. The best is when 2 fake experts argue with each other. Neither one knows what they're talking about. Both are furious. And somehow, both leave thinking they won. Number 2, watch parties becoming mini countries. A normal watch party is just people watching TV. A World Cup watch party is different. It becomes a temporary nation with better food and worse volume control. A living room turns into Argentina. A restaurant turns into Morocco. A parking lot turns into Mexico. A city square turns into every country at once. There are flags everywhere. On walls, on cars, on faces, on babies who were born 3 months ago and have no idea they've been assigned a national identity. Someone brings a drum. Someone brings a speaker. Someone brings food. Someone brings anxiety so strong it could power a small village. And once the game starts, calm behavior disappears. Every pass gets a reaction. Every shot gets a scream. Every referee whistle gets treated like a personal attack. If the team scores, drinks go flying. If the team concedes, the room becomes a funeral home. And if it goes to penalties, now nobody is breathing. This is what makes World Cup watch parties special. You're not just watching a game. You're joining a temporary emotional government. There's no constitution. Only vibes, flags, and one guy yelling, I told you, even though he told nobody anything. Number 1, cities turning into giant festivals. The strangest thing about the World Cup is that it can make entire cities feel like they've been taken over by one shared emotion. Not just stadiums, not just sports bars, entire cities. You see jerseys in grocery stores, flags hanging from windows, people checking scores at work, taxi drivers giving match analysis, restaurants turning TVs toward the street, random strangers asking, who do you support? Like it's a legal identity question. For 1 month, the tournament becomes background music for the planet. Even people who don't care about soccer know something is happening. They may not know the players, they may not know the rules, they may not know why everyone is mad at the referee, but they know the world has temporarily lost its mind. That is what makes the World Cup different. Other sports events are huge, but the World Cup feels global in a weirdly personal way. Every country brings its own songs, food, flags, grudges, hopes, and dramatic uncles. The whole thing becomes a festival, a family argument, a therapy session, and a street party at the same time. And then, after the final, it all disappears. The flags come down, the fake doctor's appointments stop, the couch experts go quiet, the streets become streets again. Everyone returns to normal life, like they weren't just screaming at a television in public. Until 4 years later. Then the sickness returns. The appointments reappear. The drums come back. And once again, the planet loses its mind in matching jerseys. Subscribe before your boss finds out your dentist appointment was actually extra time.